Welcome back, guys. AnimeScale here, and today we are ranking all the confirmed Conqueror's Haki users in one piece. And when I say confirmed, it means that I won't be adding characters that are not confirmed to have Conqueror's Haki, but still probably have it like Garp, Blackbeard, Ben Backman, or even Mihawk. The list is going to be based on the overall strength, since there's no particular way to gauge Conqueror's Haki's strength, because even for some of the confirmed users, we don't know exactly how many people they can knock out, or how well they can use Conqueror's Haki infusion. So the main criteria is going to be overall strength, and we are going to take the Conqueror's Haki feats into consideration. Last thing, for anime-only viewers, this video will contain manga spoilers, so click off the video if you don't want to get spoiled and come back when you're caught up. Now let's get to it. At the bottom of the list, I put Don Chin-Jiao. Against Luffy, he has shown the ability to use Conqueror's Haki, knocking out many of the competitors in Block C without laying a finger on them. An impressive feat, considering that most of the participants in the Colosseum were very strong fighters. Apparently, Don Chin-Jiao never developed Conqueror's Haki to the point of coating his fists with it, but it's remarkable the fact that back in the day, this guy was competing with Garp. Up next, another character from the Dressrosa arc, Doflamingo. The first time we see Mingo using Conqueror's Haki was when he knocked out some Marines at Punk Hazard. The guy first awakened the color of the Supreme King when he was around 10 years old, when he knocked out the North Blue citizens that were torturing him and his family for being celestial dragons. He used it against Luffy when they clashed, but later on he barely showed it as he relied heavily on his devil fruit alone. Just like Doflamingo, Ace first used Conqueror's Haki when he was only 10 years old against the Blue Jam pirates, managing to knock out the entire crew except for Blue Jam. He later gained knowledge of the power, probably learning something from Whitebeard, as he recognized it when Luffy used it at the Summit War of Marineford. However, he was never seen using the color of the Supreme King, apart from during his childhood and the manga adaptation of the novel. Regardless, I think Ace would have beat Doflamingo in a 1v1 situation. Let me know your take in the comments section below. Next is Charlotte Katakuri. Now, Katakuri is indeed stronger than the characters beneath him on the list, but his usage of Conqueror's Haki is no better. He used it just once alongside Luffy in order to knock out his sister and her subordinates as punishment for their interruption. We know Katakuri heavily relies on Advanced Perception Haki, and that he never got beaten before the battle with Luffy, so he never had the occasion to develop his Conqueror's Haki further than this. I know Boa Hancock above Katakuri is a hard take, but based on what we've seen in the recent chapters where Boa managed to turn into stone 90% of the Blackbeard pirates, it's not that far off. According to Sanda Sonia and herself, she possesses the ability to use Conqueror's Haki, and while she has not showcased it in the manga yet, she has been using it in video games like Burning Blood and Pirate Warriors 4. Moving on, we have Eustace Captain Kids. This guy was key in the defeat of Big Mom, and I don't think I need to explain why. He's above everybody else listed so far. However, the main reason he's up here is not because he can use Advanced Conqueror's Haki, but rather because his Devil Fruit Awakening is broken. In fact, when it comes to Conqueror's Haki, Kid is only mentioned by Kaido to possess the ability. He never used it in the manga and was shown using it only once in the anime. If he wants to keep up with Luffy, he'll certainly have to learn how to use Advanced Conqueror's Haki. Now onto Zoro. The color of the Supreme King has laid dormant within Zoro, and he was unaware he possessed it up until the Wano arc. In fact, he was first noted to have it by Kaido after the Emperor was struck by Zoro's 9-sword-style attack. During the battle against King, he ended up using it to knock out multiple low-rank beast pirates. In the same fight, he even ended up using its advanced application, infusing it into his 3 swords. As the battle progressed, Zoro managed to gain conscious control over the advanced technique. However, I believe Zoro still has to master Conqueror's Haki coating, seeing as even Luffy's use of this technique was still bad when he first used it against Kaido. Yamato lasted way longer than Zoro against Kaido, and I think we can say she mastered Conqueror's coating. She awakened Conqueror's Haki when she was still a child, and as an adult, Yamato demonstrated its advanced application of infusion, often imbuing her Kanabu. It's a pity she didn't join the Straw Hats, but I'm sure we'll see her in action in the final arc.
僕はおでんを名乗れない。
おでん二刀流
Now we have reached the Yonko level with Oden. During the years spent with Whitebeard and Roger, Oden mastered Conqueror's Haki coating. Even in his initial encounter with Whitebeard 30 years ago, the sudden clash between the two created a notable effect similar to lightning, as well as a big shockwave. The same thing was shown during his clash against Kaido. The scar he gave Kaido was huge compared to the one inflicted by Zoro's 9 sword attack, despite the fact that both attacks were coated with Conqueror's Haki, meaning that Oden was much better than Zoro at using Conqueror's coating.
覇王色の覇気
I had a hard time choosing who was stronger between Prime Rayleigh and Oden, but then I went for the Dark King. In his prime, Rayleigh must have been a Yonko-level character capable of using all 3 types of Haki in their advanced forms. We haven't had the opportunity to see Prime Rayleigh in a serious fight yet, but he must have been on the same level of Oden, if not slightly stronger. Sengoku never used Conqueror's Haki in the manga. However, in his Vivre card, he is stated to have all 3 types of Haki. He most likely can use Conqueror's Haki infusion, considering that he and Garp were the strongest individuals the Navy had at its disposal. Big Mom was first seen using Conqueror's at Sanji and Pudding's wedding when she knocked out a man for questioning her relationship with Mother Carmel. When Mother Carmel's portrait was destroyed by Brook, Big Mom unleashed her Conqueror's Haki, incapacitating most of the party guests. When it comes to advanced Conqueror's, she used it in the 3 days fight against Kaido, where the clash between the two created a massive shockwave that split the heavens. She only used it one more time against Page 1, but she didn't use it against Kid and Law, proving that she relies much more on her devil fruit powers.
まだ浅かった。お前の金棒を食らって分かった。覇王色もまとえるんだろ?
After the 2 years training with Rayleigh, Luffy became capable of consciously using Conqueror's Haki. On Fishman Island, he knocked out 50,000 fishermen in an instant. During the raid on Onigashima, he came to realize that he could infuse himself with the color of the Supreme King, doing so on his arms and legs, which drastically increased his attack power. However, having only discovered it a few moments prior, his control over this application was stated to be crude and clumsy by Kaido, leading to him swiftly knocked down by the Emperor. Not long after, when Luffy and Kaido clashed for a 3rd time, their Conqueror's Haki imbued attacks resulted in the heavens being split in half, causing the clouds to part, something that occurred only when 2 emperors collided. While in Gear 5, Luffy's control over this application of Conqueror's Haki proved even more, indicating that Luffy's Haki has ascended to the same level as that of the strongest pirates in the world. Shanks and Roger are probably the best Conqueror's Haki users who ever lived. Shanks can knock regular people out, like all users, but he also shown knocking out dozens of Whitebeard's men. And remember that all of this happened on board of the Moby Dick, Whitebeard's first ship. He, of course, can use advanced Conquerors, as shown in the clash with Whitebeard, and in the recent chapters of the manga, he managed to paralyze Admiral Greenbull, who was near the Flower Capital. Whereas Shanks never left his ship, which was miles outside Wano, stopping him in his tracks without needing to step foot into the country. What can we say about Kaido? He wasn't called the strongest creature alive for no reason. Kaido is a master of Conqueror's Haki coating. He showed it against Big Mom and against Luffy multiple times, even killing Luffy, which led to his awakening.
One Piece wa jitsuzai suru!
The same goes for Whitebeard. This guy was renowned as the strongest man in the world, and his mastery over Conqueror's Haki was of course at the top level. His Conqueror's Haki coating was displayed against his longtime rival Roger. Another example was his clash with Shanks, which resulted in the heavens being split in two. Just like Shanks, Roger wasn't a Devil Fruit user, but still fought against the strongest characters in the verse with just Haki. He could use basic and advanced Conqueror's Haki, and against Odin, he used it in a unique way of shooting a Getsuga Tensho of Conqueror's Haki that sent Odin flying for several meters. Hopefully we'll get to see more from Roger when Oda will show us what happened at God Valley. That's it for this list. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section down below, and feel free to comment your personal list as well. This is all for now. It's AnimeScale out. Bye.